Great.
I need whatever mic Julie has.
We're on there.
Hi.
Hey, Internet. People here. I'm Smurf. I will be your host. Sorry, I had a notepad open and it was blocking half my view and I couldn't talk. I will be your host for the evening. I'm Smurf. Hi. And with us we've got Julie.
Hello.
Hi, Julie. And my wife, Lena. Hi, Lena. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Yay, she's good. Everybody's good. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the book Zombie Ohio by Scott Kennemore. It's a pretty popular book, so I'm sure a lot of you will have already heard of it. Basically, it's a zombie apocalypse story, and it's point of view, or zombie point of view. First person, and that brings us to our first question, so we'll just jump right in. Did you enjoy the point of view style that this zombie book was written in, and why or why not? Who wants to talk first?
Well, Lena is muted, so I will start.
Yeah, I muted because Jason's really loud and we're in the same room. So he was picking up on my mic.
Man.
It's okay.
Well, the point of view was interesting. Not a whole lot of other books that I can think of come from the zombie point of view. I really liked the voice of the book. The tone was good, and it was interesting coming from the zombie. However, I hated the character. I hated him. I hated him. I hated him. So yes, point of view. No character.
How about you, Lena?
I really liked it too. I'm trying to think of. I can't think of other books that are written this way, but I know I've read some, and I tend to like this style a lot. But it lends itself really well to rambling, just kind of like mindless rambling, which is kind of funny because he's a zombie. Brains. It's like all about brains.
And rambling.
And rambling. Yeah.
Rambling while eating brains.
You know, did they ever come up with who he was talking to? Who the fuck was he talking to? Oh wait, are we dropping F-bombs?
Yeah,
I think it's fine.
The book.
I'll just mark it 18+.
He's talking to us.
Okay.
Yeah, he's talking to the reader. He's knocking down the fourth wall, which is fun sometimes.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat at the end. The last chapter is only a few paragraphs, I think.
Yeah.
And it was kind of neat because he was like, okay, that's really all I want to say about that. I'm getting kind of tired. He was like talking to us like we were there. So, I don't know.
A very Forrest Gump moment, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. I feel like the style was overshadowed by how much I just kind of didn't like it. I don't know.
I forgot to mention, we have Inessa Mullins joining us by text.
In spirit.
In spirit. You're here with us, Inessa.
Inessa!
Hello in Minnesota, or wherever you are right now.
So we gave her the questions ahead of time, and so I'll read her response. She liked the point of view. Unlike How to Live Safely in a Sci-Fi Universe, which we previously reviewed, the story didn't seem to drag to her, and when he started to get ahead of himself, he'd keep himself from doing so. So, I mean, I agree with her on that. It wasn't like that other book at all. That other book was so rambly.
It was like, I liked the story and How to Live Safely, but it was pretty rambly for me. I know a lot of people like that style, though, so.
I don't. And in this book and that book, I kept finding myself being like, let's get to the point. Like, let's skip ahead and let's get to the plot. Like, where's the plot?
I think you may not like our next book, then.
Probably not.
Is the next one The Martian?
No.
Ringworld.
Ringworld.
Okay.
I think it's pretty heavy, hard sci-fi, so I think there might be a lot of like technical discussion.
That I'm actually kind of okay with. I like to imagine that stuff. I like description of that stuff a lot, but like personal diatribes about thoughts and feelings, I'm over it.
He was a philosophy professor when he, was alive.
Oh shit, I forgot that.
That is a good point.
That's a really good point.
Holy shit, the whole book is a metaphor. And nobody else was gonna send text in, right? Or nobody did? Okay.
Wasn't Kat gonna... Oh, that was maybe gonna be later?
Yeah, I think Kat was gonna share her thoughts in our Facebook group maybe later.
Okay.
We should help her get a laptop so that she can do book club from Antarctica.
That'd be awesome. She can have a little penguin. It'll be great.
I think she's actually having some work done on her computer. So she just doesn't have it back yet. Or something. Maybe it's her phone, I don't know.
It was her phone.
Oh, okay.
Alright, we're way off topic. Reining us back in.
Yeah.
So, what were y'all's thoughts on just the plot overall? We talked a little bit about the character, or a little bit about it already. What were some things you guys liked, and what were areas that you thought were lacking, and maybe some holes in the plot? Lena, you go first. Go.
Okay.
Oh.
Julie went first last time.
I thought the plot needed to progress faster. I don't know. I felt like the book went on too long. I felt like the book could have been like 50 to 100 pages less than it was. Because the actual plot really wasn't that long. It was all the fluff in the middle and all the body eating that just drug it out. But I liked the plot, I guess. I don't know. There were too many things that I disliked, so now it's hard to think about all the things that were good.
So the book wasn't for you?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. That's okay. People like different things. Julie?
I took pretty extensive notes during my initial reading.
Oh my.
And I think it's pretty funny how they completely devolved, like, the further I got into the book. Like, first I was highlighting things that I liked, like, let's see, excellent word choice was something that I'd said about Eureka, because he was talking about, a moment in research, and heuristic is the etymology, for Eureka, or vice versa. I just thought it was neat. There were a few things that I really liked, but there are so many plot holes. Like when he first meets Sam again after after his car accident, they talk about the possibility of amnesia, and Sam references the news stories that have been going on, and then says, "Oh, I forgot you haven't seen what's been going on for the last 3 weeks." And they mention 3 weeks a couple times, and then you later find out that that Pete came to right after the car accident had happened, and that's, that was their hypothesis behind why he could still think like a human.
It becomes even more confusing when you find out that Peter was aware of all the zombie stuff going on. He killed himself literally like hours before he woke up.
So they never addressed the 3 weeks.
No.
I'm trying to remember that, but I took it initially to mean that the apocalypse had been going on for 3 weeks.
But what got me was that Sam, when Peter came and found him, Sam acted like nothing was wrong, even though he knew that he was killing himself.
Yeah.
It's all very weird. It gets very weird. Like the resolution doesn't bring you any closure at all.
Yeah.
Here's my my thought on that, like the ending, once you find out what really happened with Peter and Sam's involvement, that was a curveball, and I feel like the author feels as if you couldn't guess what was going to happen, that's good writing, and that's not good writing. That's not how you do it.
Yeah, I would agree. It was M. Night Shyamalan Ding Donging.
But yeah, the further I got into my reading, my notes started turning into, "Are you fucking kidding me? For fuck's sake, you wrote this, you piece of shit." Obviously has
Jesus.
I'm having problems continuing, trying too hard. Of course she's blonde. Sounds gay. That was awful. I felt bad about that. Oh, what did you guys think about the turkey? Like, another curveball for you. Hey, cognizant turkey for your cognizant zombie might be a witch. Let's never talk about it again.
I didn't get it. Was the turkey a zombie? Was it a zombie turkey?
No, they talk about that story later, like, oh, hey, let's bring up this brief explanation as to why there's this cognizant turkey. It's a story about a kid who was soft in the head, their words, not mine, because of falling through the ice and coming back, missing bits, not physical bits, which I feel is necessary to mention within the context of the book. But they talk about this kid who killed an older woman, like a prominent member of the community, and he was convinced that she had been poisoning people randomly based on proof he'd gotten from a turkey, which was thought to be the reincarnation of some witch. Do you guys remember this? It was one of the most bizarre things in the story, and this is a fucking zombie story.
No, I probably blocked it out.
I think you read a different book.
What?
No, that's not true. That's not true.
No. So I already admitted this when we were starting this, but I didn't read the last 20 pages of the book, and for about 140 pages or so, I've been reading it, but not digesting it at all. So, yeah.
It was hard. It was hard to stay in it.
Yeah, I think it's not the kind of book that I like. And I would agree that the writing is bad, but I think it's intended to be kind of campy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for me, so.
I don't know. I liked it, obviously.
Yeah. I guess none of us really enjoyed it that much. So, well, we all picked it, I think. So.
Actually, Anessa enjoyed it.
Did she? There was parts of it that I did like. Like, I liked the point of view of him being a zombie, and there were definitely parts, like descriptions and stuff, that I thought were pretty funny, and I liked them. But
yeah, there were definitely some high points. I mean, I like a gross sense of humor, like, the next guy, but some of it was just unnecessary for the most part. To quote myself earlier, lazy writing coupled with unbridled misogyny, maybe unbridled is a tad harsh, plus zombies. End quote.
yeah, I could see that.
Did you guys feel like Vanessa's reaction to Peter was in any way natural, considering what was going on?
Nope.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
There's a scene at the very end where they're in the helicopter going to safety, and she's like holding what's left of his hand, and I was like, hell no. I was like, I would not touch that.
Yeah, Leon, I love you, but you get zombified, and I'm cutting your head off.
That's funny.
Wait, I got it. Maybe they just love each other for their brains. See what I did there?
Yep.
Book jacket quote.
Well, let's see what Anessa had to say about the plot.
Yeah.
She says, I dug the plot. It was pretty easy to see where the story was going from the get-go. When he mentioned he had a bit of amnesia and mentioned doing what zombies do, so walking around. Yeah, that's pretty much what she had to say.
Yeah. I did think that the overall plot was fun. I just didn't enjoy the execution.
So, what did you guys? We're kind of already covering this. So, what do you guys think some of the major strengths and weaknesses of the book are, besides plot holes and misogyny and just kind of being not enjoyable?
You can't take misogyny away from us. That was a huge element of the book.
We already covered it. Well, I mean, we already mentioned it. Feel free to come on if you have more to say about it.
It was a very sexist book.
Okay.
I felt personally offended by Peter and the way he talked. Yeah.
There was a lot of I'm a nice guy undertone to a lot of his interactions with female plot, props. The two sorority girls, he brought them up a lot, and really the definition for them had been sorority girls. And then the lady in the grocery store, she was a strong woman, and she spoke up for herself, and that incited him. I'm going to eat her brain. This is going to happen.
Yeah.
Stand up to me.
I could definitely agree with all that.
He also said that it was kind of like a relationship. At some point, okay, here we go. Direct quote. That she says, "You killed all my friends, you stupid fuck. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself." That sentiment was cold. Cold like my flaccid zombie penis.
I noted that.
I had not achieved tumescence once since being reanimated. She didn't know what she was saying, of course, but it still felt like a hit below the belt. This was quickly devolving into a standoff, and etc. Yeah, that just says everything. I was turned off by that a lot. Oh, interesting side question. Did you have a hard time separating the character Peter Miller from what you thought of the author as a writer?
Yes.
I always do, and I know that might not be the best way to look at it, but it's really hard for me to avoid.
I think you're better at it than I am.
At avoiding it?
Yeah. Because when we talk about characters a lot, you get really involved in the character development. I'm horrible at it. I can never do it. But it was hard. I don't know Scott Kennemore, so I have no idea. But
yeah, I usually make an effort not to look up authors until after I've read the books, but I'm going to look this guy up now.
What can we say about him?
You guys continue on talking about the strengths and weaknesses.
I'm gonna just take a jab that he's 40s, 50s, and a white dude.
With really light colored hair? That's what I'm guessing.
Wait, I want to say what Anessa said.
Okay, keep
about
going.
The plot. Okay, or not the plot, the strengths and weaknesses. It kind of bugged me how easily he seemed to be able to control his zombie ways. I would think that for being a thing that loves to eat human flesh, he'd struggle a bit more. Also, Sam should totally share the blame for killing Peter. He let him do it. Sam equals murdering accomplice. And Mario and Turk shouldn't have died. I don't remember Mario and Turk.
Mario was the one he kept saying, look, that was the fodder for all of his video game references.
Oh, those guys in the beginning, kind of.
Yeah.
Beginning-ish.
He was the mustachioed zombie.
Yeah.
And when Turk was introduced, when he was talking about being from Turkey, I thought, is the author like purposefully trying to tie this character, this sentient zombie that doesn't really talk, that has the mentality of a dog, to this turkey that's actual, like, this other turkey? Like, is that a... That's not a literary device that works. That was hard for me.
Yeah. So, does anyone else want to take a guess at what Scott Kennemore looks like? I agreed with Julie and added that I thought he probably had light-colored hair, and yeah, I won't say anything else because now I've seen his picture.
I don't know.
He looks exactly like Julie and I said. And he was born in 1977, which makes him right at
36?
Yeah. So yeah, middle-aged, almost. Yeah. So pretty much what we guessed.
Yeah.
And we'll look the rest up.
You know, I hope this isn't like our first book club where the author's like, oh hey, I'm gonna watch this.
No, it's not the first one. It's already happened.
Oh no. I mean, I'm saying that I hope it's not like the first one. I hope he does not do this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, dude. I just ripped you 5 new ones.
I will say that I would at least be willing to go and go and read his other books.
I just realized I actually have 2 more of those, and they're pretty funny. Like the CEO book, Zombie CEO, and Zen of a Zombie.
He wrote those?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, maybe Zombie Ohio is not representative of him at all. So maybe he was trying to just point stuff out to people. Who knows?
It's the first in a trilogy.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to read those other 2. Sorry, guy.
The only cool thing about the other 2 was that they're ensemble. Like it's a group of people, not just one person.
One of the people even sounds like she might be a woman of color.
Mm-hmm. True story. Which I would be really interested to read.
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining he would do a good job writing from a woman's point of view.
That's why I'd be interested to read it.
No.
So what did Anessa think about this? About strengths and weaknesses.
I already said them.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for his picture so that I could be a dick to him.
Oh.
Now I feel bad. Okay, so what would you guys rate Zombie Ohio scale of 1 to 10? 10 being highest.
I'm gonna give like a 2, probably. I didn't find... Well, I don't know. I couldn't tell if the typos were just because it was the Kindle version. I hope that wasn't in the printed version.
I had that too.
Cool.
In the Kindle version, so I don't know.
He needed a better copy editor, someone to challenge him to be better.
Yeah.
I guess I'd have to give it a 4. Yeah, I think a 4.
Pretty generous.
It is generous, but he kind of reeled me back in with like nerdy references.
Oh, I think I highlighted one of those. Oh, No Time for Love, Dr.
Yes,
Jones.
I highlighted that.
And I said, I hate you for this.
I liked that one, and then I liked whenever he was talking about white people using journeys don't stop believing to communicate to each other, or humans using it to communicate, like, hey, there's more humans over here because we're playing Journey. Like, I thought that was funny.
That was pretty funny.
Anessa said she gives it an 8.
Really?
Wow!
And she wants to redo her rating of Sci-Fi Universe and give it a 5.
What did she rate it originally?
Like a 7 or something, I
7
think.
or something.
Okay.
She said the more I read other first-person styled books, the less I like it.
Yeah. I guess I could see that. I don't know. I don't think this one really affected my view on it too much, but. So does anyone else have anything to add?
I think I've been very mean.
So mean. I didn't. I would give it a 5. I think it wasn't my favorite, but I'm just really meh on it, and I didn't finish it, so right in the middle.
Seems fair.
And surprise question that I thought of a few minutes ago. What do you guys think the moral of the story was? Because I already said what I think it was, but I'm gonna say it again.
What did you feel like it was?
I feel like the moral of the story is that Peter's a dick.
Oh. I think the author might agree with that just because you use the word dick.
Yes, that. If I'm being sincere,
Yeah, that's actually what I intended, but
I think
that's really all I can take away from it.
there's a very strong undertone of your actions have consequences on and affect the people around you,
Yeah, for sure.
whether you like it or not. But there's also a recurring theme of him being a coward and having to face what happens when he's a coward. You know? So, I don't know. That's kind of what I took from it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think that's entirely accurate since the story kind of picks up at his, what you know to be his initial act of cowardice. You know, you find out later that that's what's going on.
What's also really interesting is that he showed more bravery and morality as an undead zombie than he did when he was alive.
Maybe because he had less to lose.
Yeah?
Yeah. No. Makes sense to me.
It's only too bad that other people didn't view the new world that same way. Like, you know, they're zombies and oh fuck, let's just be there for each other. Instead of, I'm gonna take that college and maybe do some raping.
Yeah.
Definitely some pillaging and straight up murder. Murder.
Yeah. I would also say that these were slow zombies that rot and fall apart, so why don't you guys just get some fucking water and hide for a few weeks in the hot Texas summer?
I
or
felt like
wherever you are.
time passed really quickly. Like, when you got to the third section, the third chapter, he was like, yeah, we spent all spring doing this.
Yeah, it did.
And you kind of skip over spring, because the last time he mentioned anything, there was still snow everywhere.
Yeah, I think go somewhere hot or something. You guys have any zombie plans?
You know, what would be one zombie book that you would recommend?
I'm not super into zombies, but I have a just like a general like, oh my god, apocalypse, survival mode. What are we gonna do? And it's totally a joke. I would hole up in a sporting goods store. I would line the outside with treadmills going backwards.
That's pretty good. I actually do have a plan. It involves going to a bunker production facility.
Yeah, I sort of have a legitimate plan. There's a bunch of missile silos and steam tunnels in North Denton.
that not very many people know about. So I think that might be a decent place to go, and it also would probably have military presence.
Definitely.
Assuming you're not trying to get away from the military, because every day that seems more and more likely.
Did the military ever show up in this book? Like, really? Did they ever...
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, they did.
yeah, a little bit. It was the National Guard or something, right? I don't remember.
Well, they showed up and kind of got, some of them got killed like immediately. But yeah, the military is the one who sent the chopper to rescue.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
So the moral of the story really is get to the chopper!
Yep.
Yes.
Does anybody else have anything to add or talk about?
Anessa had some favorite quotes.
Go for it.
The first one was, "Jesus and shotguns," I thought as I pulled away. They weren't good or bad, they just were.
I think I highlighted Jesus and shotguns for.
And also, it was like herding cats. Undead, rotting cats.
Gross.
Oh man, what about that farmer guy that was throwing cats off the silo?
Yeah.
Not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool. Don't be mean to them kitty cats.
Mm-mm.
It's a good goddamn kitty cat.
Here's a quote that I highlighted that I really did not like. I highlighted it in red.
Oh,
But
man.
if you're some sort of Casanova who's got bitches throwing themselves at you all day, then yeah, you're gonna come across as a little more relaxed and natural when you're trying to talk to girls.
I don't really have anything to say about that.
Yikes.
And that's why I have problems separating
Did
the
Peter say that?
choice. Yes, Peter said that. That was an analogy for how once he decided that he wanted brains, he couldn't find people anywhere. Like, the more you want something, the more you stink of desperation, and the less likely you are to get it. Whereas when you are very successful in something, it just falls in your lap. I imagine he would throw a dick reference in there as well, since we're talking about falling in laps.
I don't know. I don't have anything else. I
guess we're done. It's kind of sad. What's that?
But
I like your tiara, princess.
we're
Thank
not
you.
done. The next book club meeting is next week, actually.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I guess we should talk about that.
We're reading Ringworld by Larry Niven.
Yep, that's right. Larry Niven. I think so. But I'm not 100% sure. No, it's not right.
Yes, that's what we're reading. And we're supposed to break that up into 3, so the next meeting is over chapters 1 through 9. And should be all right.
Yeah.
I'll be broadcasting live from Italy in the canals.
Literally in the canals.
Literally in the canals as the face of Bo with a tiara.
I want a pretty hat.
I want a pretty hat.
Oh.
I want to be a princess. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we are done. So join us next week. Next Tuesday, 7:30 Central Time. We will be doing Larry Niven's Ringworld. It's about the planet.
That is a ring, kind of like Halo. I think I'm thinking about that right. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. It's a hard sci-fi book. I think that's really all I know about it, and I've been interested in it for a long time because it's highly recommended in sci-fi circles. So join us at 7:30 Central next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Hey.